Good afternoon. Today is Mess Making Wednesday, and which is going to be kind of involved with our January Get Organized. This week has been on scraps. I still have one more box to do. I have to do that tonight. I haven't been able to get things done for my store, so I was working on some stuff for my store, because I have to put some time into that as well. So today you're going to grab your scraps again. If you're like me, on my work desk for my filming, I have left my scrap box there. And you're going to grab your stamps. You might need, and your ink pads and things like that, glue sticks, scissors. I grabbed a stapler because I'm going to maybe do another something. Remember, yesterday we did those using scraps and making tags. Those were the ones I did with you guys. And then today, I haven't finished two of them because I'm trying to think if I'm going to leave it like that. And I just didn't finish this one. So there's going to be another one. And then I did these ones as well. Some of them are covered on the back, some aren't, because I had a big enough piece of scrap for this one, but not this, and I don't want to create some more scraps right now. So if I go to use this in a project, then that means I have paper there to cover it, so that's okay. I made these little ones. These are great. They can go in a little tuck spot as well, but they're also good to use for dangles and things like that. So I got those done. This one got done. It didn't get covered. Again, I don't have a big enough scrap. So there's a few more tags done with my scraps I did last night. And what I'm doing is every day, like for instance, just now from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, I worked on some tags. That way I'm, because this is for Tag Tuesday, so I'll probably do that for a couple more days. I don't want to get too far advanced, but the thing is, when I was doing these were scraps I had from projects that I'm still working on. So this is going to go in a journal that I'm working on right now. This is going to go in a journal I'm working on right now. This is going to go in a journal I'm working on right now. The same with these small ones. I have journals right now, again with this. These are all things I'm going to use right away. Even this could go in a journal I'm working on right now. So as I'm using up my scraps, I'm also thinking of projects that I need to finish, journal projects I have to finish when using up some of my scraps that came from those projects. And I kind of have those in a separate bin for right now because they're projects and I might use those pieces continuously. So that's where I am with my Tag Tuesday. Just an update to keep you just there. So I'm just going to pop those to the side for now. And then eventually I'm not putting those in there where I keep them because we're going to do an organization for our mass making of tags. If you're somebody, I do some up in advance, but a lot of times I make them as I go. I want to start doing more of that, but it's hard because when I do, anyways, try to figure, excuse me, people, I apologize for that. So today we are going to use our scraps and our stamps. A lot of times you're going to probably use a lot of your plain ones up, but you could do some on music paper. You can do some on book pages. Even if you had a printed, especially some of the printed might have just a faded design in the background. So you could still put a stamp there as well. So those are things you can do. So there's ways you can even use your printed paper. Just look, I think you could probably even use maybe that. I'm not sure. I would have to play with that to see. So, but again, your line paper, so different things, all those type of things are perfect for stamping on. So I'm just going to pull out a couple of these. I know that I'm going to use that one. I have that I can use stamps on. Oh, well, and of course I have all my yellow my different packaging that I save. So I'm putting them to the front of my box for now. Oh, there's a stamp thrown in there. Oh, it's kind of, there we go. That way it's easier to manage. And of course, any white scraps or cream colored scraps, anything like that you can use. So I don't know why, guys, but this past week I have been so tired. I feel so drained. Like, I naturally feel tired. It's part of my thyroid problem. But this week it's been really bad. Now I don't know if I'm fighting a cold because I've had a migraine. It's not a migraine, but I've had like a head cold. Head cold. I've had a headache for 2 days, and it's right in my eyes and my upper part of my neck. And I feel like my eyes weigh a ton right now. And these are my itty bitty scraps, and even some of those, like for instance, this little itty bitty one is perfect for one of my favorite stamps. I think it's one of my favorites right now, and I use it a lot because it just looks so nice with the right. Let me grab I think I'll use the Victorian. And again, these can be used in clusters. They could be used on a tag. You could fussy cut around them or leave it the way it is. So, see? And then you could, if you wanted to, you could either cut around it roughly, tear around it if you don't want it to be so pointed. Which is what I don't want. I don't want it to look so cut, because it was just trimmed off of something. So, and then I just ink up around it. Now, you don't have to ink around it if you're somebody that doesn't like that. I do. So, majority of the time, I told myself I was going to get a little container to put my tiny scraps in. So, reason I left some of these tags here, and then I piled them up. So, for instance, let me find one of those little tags. It could easily be put on a tag. Maybe not so much that one, but it could be added into a tag type thing. Maybe more of a one like this could be added, or you could end up making a small cluster and putting it on the tag as well. So you can do that. In this case, what I might do, because it's so much neutral, what I would do, let me just put those aside for now, because I'll probably pull out them, is I probably go into my color and see if I've got a little piece of pink. I have big pink there, but I'm trying to maybe find a tiny pink, and I want the right shade of pink. I think this one is perfect. I'm going to tear that off. Let's see. Right about there. Right about there. I'm just going to ink it up. So not only can you do what works nicely with these is I'm going to do like that. I'm going to do like that. And then I would staple it, and then I could just put it right on the tag. So it's ways you can use these. You could even, if you don't want to put it on the tag right away, just do this, and you have a cluster, nice simple little cluster. And you think, also, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I go ahead and I staple this. And sometimes what I do I have a butterfly? I want the perfect butterfly. So this is your scraps and your stamps. This one might be too big. One of the things that I want is to do storage on stamps. This is not a convenient way to use my stamps, so I got to figure that out. And I'm trying to find, if anybody has any idea, or somebody that has a YouTube channel that does it, please let me know so that I can watch it, because I really need, I want to do the CD cases, but the CD cases are really expensive. And I just, right at this moment, I can't afford to do that many CD cases. I love the idea. But a package of 10 CD cases here, the plastic ones, is like almost 20, I think it was 27 something. Maybe I want this a little darker, I think, because I want it to stand out a little bit more. So, and then you can just stamp right onto it. So all it is some scraps and your stamp. So there's different ways. So just play around with your scraps. Oh, put that on the right one will be the smart thing. Sometimes what it is easier if you want to really multitask it. And what works really well too, and I didn't know where I put that one. Where did I put that stamp? I might every once in a while have, just one second. Yes, baby love. Sorry, come downstairs and see Tia. Sorry, his father picked right now to leave the house, right in the middle of filming. Sorry, we'll have a couple of interruptions. Yes, baby love, what would you like?
Can you make some slime for me?
Not right now, okay? Later. Mama's coming. Maybe Mama can make slime with you?
I'm 7 years old. I can do this.
Okay, but not right now. Sorry, guys. Jacob! I'm going to please listen to Tia. Tia's making a video right now. She needs you to listen to her. Okay, why don't you do some math so we can put a loonie in your jar? Sorry about that. I already started videoing and his father said I'm going to pick up his mom. They're separated, but she comes and spends time for family. So with this one, I'm hoping I have the stamp I'm thinking to go there. And I might not. Oh, yes, I do. Like I said, this isn't and this is only some of my stamps. Those are ones I love the most, and I keep them out. Sometimes these narrow ones, it's not going to fully fit on there, but that doesn't matter. Let me pull this out. Take that off. I do apologize again for that. And then I'm going to take the Victoria Rose. Oh no, this is the picked raspberry. The Victorian Velvet is my other favorite in the pinks. I have another pink, but for some reason okay, here we go. So there you go. And I'll just keep it like that. It can be put into many different things. Sometimes I'll do it right now, but I don't have my I don't know where I put my white fussy cut scissors yesterday. I have lost them, and I don't know where I put them. That's weird. I have a little pair in a drawer here. I don't really use these much because the finger holes are so tiny it cramps my feet. So you could also take this and just roughly cut around it. Like this. Excuse me again. Jacob, what are you doing? Okay. He wants some grapes. If you've seen the lunch I just gave him, He had strawberries. He had raspberries. He likes, he does enjoy, like, he doesn't really eat a lot of canned, like, SpaghettiOs and that. His favorite is, I buy this salami called Thuringer. It's always been my favorite from a kid. And so I buy that, and he loves it just as much as I do. I put some Thuringer on his plate. I put some cheese curds on his plate, like 4 big ones. I put cucumbers. I put little tiny tomatoes on his plate, and also the fruit. He ate all that, and he still wants some more. That's, I guess, a 7-year-old. They're always growing. This is why sometimes I wished I had a door, because maybe the father wouldn't have left as easily. So things like that, sometimes it's difficult, but other times, like now, I can hear them. So there you go. Like, and that can go in many different places. It could go on a belly band. I mean, I love it. You could even cut it smaller and have little pieces of it. I have done that too. So there's many things you can do.
It's a miss who?
What it is, it's a video. You can say, hi, everybody.
Hi.
And then I'll show you the video later and you can hear yourself on it. Okay? Tia's teaching them what they can do with stamps and scraps.
Yes.
So Tia's basically right now talking to herself, but later people are going to listen to it. Is that funny?
Yes.
So then we got this nice purple one. He's going to stand beside me right now. So sometimes if you really want to, I mean, you could get one butterfly, and this butterfly's too big. Same with the flower. You could get one flower and you could make them. So it just all depends how you want to do it with it. So let's just grab some scraps and let's work away. I think Papa's phone is going off upstairs.
Papa told us his phone.
Yeah. Papa forgot his phone, and I can hear it going off. And it's probably Mama calling him.
He's going with her.
He's going to pick her up and bring her here. He's a really good boy. We have a very close, he calls me Tia. When he was little, he couldn't say Christina. And for a long time, we didn't know. We would hear him say Tia, Tia. We couldn't figure out what that was. And then I had gone home to Ontario one time, and I came home, and he came downstairs with his papa. And he was little, like I would say probably just under 2, somewhere around there. And he just went, Tia. We figured out what Tia was. Tia was me. So here we go. So this is like kind of a perfect, I would have to be very careful, but I think I can manage it. I'm going to open a few colors. I've got my pinks. Let's see. Let's move these aside. Even orange is pretty in this. And a purple. My seedless preserve, I have to be very, very careful with it. I have to lightly stamp it because it gets very juicy. It's a beautiful purple, the seedless preserve. So you can take your paper and just mass make. You can do any colors. I don't have a lot of colors because, as I said, let's pull out a turquoise. Oh. And if you're somebody who doesn't like to fussy cut these small things, that's fine too. You don't have to do it. It's just a way. I actually sell these. I've actually sold quite a few of my stamped images because I fussy cut a lot of them, and I sell quite a few of them. because they're all ready for you to use them in projects. All right, so there we go. Like, I'm going to add a, and you could even take, oops, see how juicy that got? So I need a paper to stamp on the back of it. Let's do this one. There. But I stamped it too hard. And you could take and add another color to it and give it, didn't work so much in that one. It did a little, very faintly, but you could use more than one color and kind of give it, let's see, what would work? Let's do the turquoise, light turquoise, and some of the pink. Let's grab another scrap paper. Let's see if I can get a big enough piece here. Just pull it out. And then, I don't know if you can see, you get a nice mixture of a flower. So, you know, just play around with your stamps. So now I've got a lot of those flowers, and I will do it two ways. Some of them I will fussy cut, and some of them I will just do this with. And these are great. Now, I just have them all thrown in a box with baggies. So I put all my flowers together, put all my butterflies together. So it just depends on how, some people won't do as many maybe as me, because I do sell these. So sometimes I'll grab my scraps and I'll go on a stamping binge, and I need to put some more pictures up. Sometimes I'll put these, I'll throw a package together like I make a homemade little baggie, and I'll throw these in with fussy cut flowers, and it'll be just a package of flowers. I do that as well. This one looks like it's very hard to fussy cut, but it actually really isn't. I like these little scissors. It's just my fingers get cramped in those little, the blade on it is really nice. So, and these, again, can be used in different projects. There we go. And we've used up a scrap, and look at all we created with that nice long scrap. I'll count them out in a second. Now with the purple one, if your ink is really wet, sometimes I'll go ahead and stamp a few so that the ink does dry a little, so that I don't get it everywhere, because I do that sometimes. And again, if you comment on the video here, you like and comment the video, and you subscribe, some of my fussy cuts and some of these stamped images will be put in an envelope. As of right now, I think I'm going to end up doing 3 prizes. And you could win one of these envelopes full of some of my tags, some of my scrappy hearts, some of the stamped images. Probably you'll get a few of this, and whatever I do the rest of the week, whatever I make. And I think I want to tear this one. I like both. I like having both. Now, if you have some larger scraps, what also does really well, there we go, and we got that one nicely done. And again, I'm going to grab a butterfly. Blah, 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 blah. Where did I put my butterfly I just had? You, where did I put you? Oh no, where did I put you? Oh no, I lost the butterfly. it under one of these. Stick those there. Oh, Mr. Butterfly, where did you go? Oh, Mr. Butterfly. It'll show up later when I'm not looking for it. I think this butterfly I have is too big. Oh, I found it. I told you. This butterfly will fit perfectly in there. So let's do a couple of butterflies. And again, I like to, with my butterflies sometimes, I like to create some color into them. So I'll dab it through a few different colors. Like that. And give it, so you can do that, more of a rainbow effect. I'm only going to get 2 on the rest of this, but that's fine. Now see, this turquoise, if I touch it right now, it's going to spread. So I'm just going to set that to the side right now and let it dry. So another thing you can do, I'm just going to grab one. If you have, I need a smaller scalloped circle. I haven't been able to find one here on Amazon Canada. I need one smaller than this one. But also what I like to do is sometimes I jump into my, well, let's take one of these. This is the packing paper. But, a lot of times when we buy things at Winners, which is like TJ Maxx down there, things come wrapped in it. Yeah, but this one is, I've used tinfoil and everything to try sharpening it, but it hasn't worked. So sometimes the really thin paper doesn't work as well. So what you can do with this, I think I should have used my bigger heart. I don't think this one will work. I don't think, I've only got one flower. Yeah, this one's too small. That punch does not work. It has to be my bigger heart punch. And I just got to see where I put it. Here it is. So sometimes what I do, does it still fit in this? Let's see. Punch out the heart. I don't have enough room for everything. And I use this as a scrap, so I want to vintage it up a little. I want to age it a little, I should say, and give it some look. And I even sometimes crinkle it just to give it. And then in this case, let's take the nice pink and I put a butterfly in it. And I'll do that as well. And it looks really pretty with the rose in it as well. Now I just have this that I'll just tear a little. Let's see if I can get a butterfly just on it. Oh, it's too small now. Leave that. Let's find a small stamp. There's the little flower. I'll use that one next. Let's take and do a flower on this. So I'm just gonna, in this case, I think I'm just gonna tear around it. He's so quiet up there, it almost scares me sometimes. Because I think, what's he getting into? But sometimes he's just watching TV. He likes his TV. See, now, I tore this a little too close. So I find, because I did that, the rest doesn't look as good. And even with this, you could take a little water and when it's still wet and maybe put some color into it. But, you know, those little things, those are great throwing into a cluster or into a snippet roll. go. Let's pull another that out, because I really like doing these type of stamps on this paper, especially if I wrinkle it and I age it. Let's put the lids on these for a minute so that I don't stick my fingers in here. So then, now you may not want this many on hand of stamps. So if you're not somebody who uses a lot of stamps imaged in your projects, this might not be for you. It may be more the butterfly type might be, but I find this type of stamped item looks good in any project. And in this case, I'm going to try to, I don't want it too neatly cut, so I'm trying to pull out my scissors just to, oh, see, I tore it. But that doesn't matter. If I glue that down, that doesn't matter. And then just take your ink it up. And again, that you could use it on your tag and build an image on top of it. You could use it in collaging as well. And I kind of like a lot of these done on this type of look. Okay, ink. Never know if I got it the right way, but in this case it doesn't really matter. So then, and you don't have to ink them up now if you don't want to, but I like to have mine ready. So that's just with the packing paper that I have scraps of, because I sometimes use that packing paper in my scrappy notes and things like that. Sometimes if it's big enough page, I'll even use it in a, and then here, I'm just gonna, if I have a small piece, you could use file folder. Do I have, I want to go with a bigger stamp maybe. Just looking through my stamps. Oh, come on. It's sliding as I'm picking it up. It's under here. That's too big, but I want to leave that out because I want to use that in a second to show. Let me just, right now how I have some of my stamps is I did this in a binder and I put them, it's upside down. I put them in here, but I found I can't get to the bottom as easily. And so I end up tearing this. So that's why it just really isn't working for me. So that's what I do right now. I'm just checking. I thought it was in here, but it's not the one I wanted. Those are ones I don't use as well. I don't use them as often because it's not convenient to get to. So that's my problem there. I guess this is the biggest I have. I thought I had something. I thought. But it isn't. So let's just go ahead. It's my Tim Holtz one I'm looking for. That's the one I'm looking for. I only own this one of Tim Holtz, and I have the coffee ones. I want more, but I know they're more expensive even in the States, but here in Canada they're even harder, and we don't get as much selection of them. That one there, I paid almost $35 for it. And in this case, I can almost get 2 of these out of this. And then just take my ink so it doesn't look so creamy. And that's a scrap of a file folder. I don't like that. Too much of a bubble there. There we go. And then I have this little piece. I'm going to cut a little bit of the tip off so it doesn't look like a pointed. And then I'm going to grab, let's see, what am I going to grab? What do I have down here in a tiny piece? I first got to ink this. With this, I can't talk as much because I'm kind of thinking as I go. So my apologies. I think I'll do it like this. And I want something different. I think I want a piece aligned or some graph. If I have a little piece in here. It's funny, I don't have a lot of graph paper. I have bigger pieces that I could tear, but I wanted to use a few of my scraps up. Here we go. This might work. Oh, no, that'll be perfect for a scrappy notepad. Sometimes I have scraps that I use for something in particular, and I don't want to use them up. And I'm just trying to get a contrast, something of a bit of a different color in there. I don't know, I have a book page in there. Well, I think I might have luck with a little piece. I might have to tear one up. Let's just do this. This isn't lined, but this is it's a printable, and it's got a bit of, so I might do it like this. Let's see if I like that or not. Maybe if I just darken it up. We'll see. Sometimes I like to add 4 to these when I'm doing them. Here we go. There we go. So then I'm basically taking a cluster of scrap papers and I'm going to put this bed in the center. There we go. So there's a cluster using that. I could have put a butterfly going this way. So it's just different ways to use up your scraps, your stamps. Because I get a lot of the large, of course, of Happy Mail. I get a lot of this. So I have these really nice ones here. My dragonfly somewhere. This also looks really good on paper bag. I just don't have a small paper bag scrap, but I'll show you. I think I have this one. I have to kind of make sure that it's well inked. Sometimes I reverse it and go this way. There we go. Put it down. I always love how this looks on the yellow for some reason. And on the paper bag. It's two of my favorites to do this on. And I one time got this really neat envelope, and it had this kind of, the texture of it was really unique. And boy, did the stamps ever look good on it. And there we go. Then you could take and crease it and make it a little more aged, whatever you want to do. There we go. Let's see. I have a paper bag here. It's not really a scrap. Because sometimes now, this I would put in a journal like this. Right, I would just trim it up and fix it up. For right now, I'm going to use it. It technically isn't a scrap, but I just want to see if you have bag scrap. I want to show you how good stamping on it looks. And this one, you got to kind of make sure you stamp hard. I haven't eaten today. It was funny. Before I started this, I debated eating. But then I wasn't hungry at that time. And now I've gotten really hungry. There. And again, just take your ink. There we go. I love how it looks on the paper bag. I really, really do. Also, what I like with my paper bag, I'll take this, punch out one of these. And before I stamp on it, I'm going to just round it up. And in this case, with my butterfly, I really want to, so you have to kind of play with them, because I have a smaller one, but I've misplaced it. It's the problem when you don't put your stamps. So then you could do your scalloped on that as well. And again, it could go on a tag like this. Or it can be put into a cluster. So use your punches, use your scraps, and do up different things. I want to make a couple more. I'll make sure I put a couple of these, what I'm doing right now. Where's my large stamp? Right here. Come on. Keep missing the edge of it somehow. Couldn't get that one to set. Stamp up your stamp. There we go. There we go. These scissors are really sharp. I got to be careful with them. They're really sharp. I just accidentally chopped something just because of the sharpness of them. And then you ink it up. I find that with these stamps I have, it looks really good. So, and then we'll do a yellow one. Does it fit this way? Yes. Okay, so there we go. It looks really good on the yellow. It really does set out. Like that. Okay. My dabber. So there's that. Then I'm looking for this. Peel this off for right now. Pull out my script one. I got this in my Christmas stocking no, not this one, another one that I really like. I should get it out because I love how it looks. So start saving your envelopes, and I'm sure many of you do save them. I really save them because I just love how these stamps look on it. And let's put that there. I'm just gonna, I'm falling out of my chair. My bum is too big for it. It's not a comfortable chair. I spend more time sitting on the edge of it than I do. And I have these really small ones that I like because I think they're perfect. Does it fit on that? Yeah. I think these are great to add into little spots. And the great thing about this is there we go. I don't know why I can't talk and cut sometimes. There we go. And I still have this one small spot, and I'm not going to waste it. There's a particular one I'm looking for that I know will look good on it. We'll pull this. Yep, perfect. This one sometimes I like. No, yeah, this It's different than the one I thought I grabbed. There. There we go. Out of that piece of manila envelope, we got this, 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 and this. And we had one more, didn't we? Yep. Oh, sorry. And we did this one. So, and I really like how they look. It's a nice contrasting. Again, with the paper bag. I'm just going to tear this here. Because, for instance, this little one, I need to buy myself some more of these little ones. So when I'm doing this, I can have the stamps just all on there, ready to go. So where that scallop punch was, instead of wasting that piece of paper, I'll come in with this. Yeah, get use out of every inch of it we can. There we go. There we go. So again, this could be added nicely because my papers are all got a mess now. Let's take, it's too big. But I want to pull this out anyways. I want to pull out. That and use it. I don't know why that's in there. It's an index card. I'm just grabbing a few different scraps here. I almost put that in the wrong bag after I cleaned all my scraps up. That's what usually happens is when you're playing around. I think I want to do it like that. This is something I'm just trying, guys, on the whim to see how it looks. Now, if you don't like this sticking up, you can also take it. I like staples now because I used to glue it all down really hard, and I kind of like the wispiness of this. So what I did here is I thought I'd do that, and then I don't know if a rose would look good there, or a butterfly. That butterfly is too big. I need the smaller butterfly again. I keep putting that smaller butterfly down and I keep losing it. Yep, that's what we're going to do. So in this case, we're doing a stamped image on one piece of scrap. Then we took some scraps and we put it together at like a small cluster. And then I'm going to stamp as well in another part of the cluster. There we go. And I'm just going to add a little color in here, take away from some of that. And there we go. Using two stamped. And we created a cluster. Could go on the bottom of a page. If you had a big enough card, you know, depending on what you're doing on it, type thing. There you go. Using two, I'll throw that one over there. And because I have that there and that one is still sitting there, instead of throwing that back into my scraps, I'm going to go ahead and use it up right now. Instead of throwing it back in the scraps, we're going to use it. So just pull out your scraps and your stamps. Even if you want to do what I did and do some punches, that's up to you. I also use my circle punch for it as well. There we go. Let's throw that there. Because I have this scrap I pulled out. Does that butterfly fit on there? Not quite, but this one will. Now what you can do is I'm going to take, not that, where did I put it? Oh, I buried it. I buried it. I'm going to take lightly and I'm going to put very lightly, I'm going to put some script on this. It doesn't have to, I didn't put a lot of ink on it because I just want it for background. Then I'm going to take my butterfly. Oh, what color? Let's go with orange. And I'm going to stick a butterfly on that. So that's ready to be used in a cluster. It can be put on a page by itself if you want to. It could go in a... And if you don't like the sharp edges, just tear them a bit like I did. There we go. Just with scraps, we're doing because these are scraps I just pulled out. I want to use them up. So I'm just doing a few different things. And we'll call it quits in a few minutes. I think you get the idea. And again, so if you'd like to join us in Junk Journal Craft and Chat, I'll have all the information below. If you'd like to support me, I have my Ko-fi, I think how is pronounced. I'm going to have to learn how that is pronounced. That you can make a donation, buy me a coffee, or a donation towards my sewing machine fund. As well as I have my shop where I do sell, and I do sell these stamped images. I usually just send a bunch of them, but if there's something you've seen that I have that maybe you don't have and you want a few of them, let me know. I was just using up the scraps I have on the desk right now. These scissors are so sharp. I have to be so careful. It's kind of why I'm not fussy cutting with them, because if I get too close to the edge, they're so sharp. I'm sure if I use them a bit with the glue all the time, my scissors get glued. There we go. There's another one cut out. I'm just going to trim that off because I have this one stamp that I got, and it has so many cute little stamps on it that I love using. Sometimes on the paper print, the blue looks really good too. So I pull it out. Don't think I'm going to get much. I might get another 12 on that, but I'm not sure. Let's cut out and see what we have left over. So, especially if you have some little stamps, some of the little scraps, it's perfect for it. Oop. And again, I moved the camera down so that you could see clearly, especially when you're doing more fine detail. So hopefully, so there we go. I'm going to show one more thing I was just thinking about, just to give you an idea of some things that you might throw out that might work perfectly well. There's that 12. And I was right, I do have room, I think, for another 12. But what I'm going to do is, if I can find it, yeah, my fire brick. I love this on paper bag too. I think I can get one more 12 out of that. Get one more little stamp shape out of that. Whoop, and there's another little 12. That goes down there. Whoop. Everything's starting to slide on me. There's that. And all those papers. Let me just move these out of the way. I just want to show one. Oh, I missed my garbage can. But my floor needs to be swept anyways, because I don't know about you, but I get a lot of teeny pieces on the floor. I think I at least sweep every day or every other day. I should sweep every day, but you know, sometimes it interferes with my creative. So sometimes you get this. Yes, you could stamp on the front, but sometimes this one's a little dark, so I probably wouldn't. But it might be okay if I went ahead. Let's try it. Let's see here. I'm going to take that dark blue. Did I put you all the way back in, dark blue? Yes, I did. I actually put you in your spot. I want to see if it will show up. It does. Sometimes I like that because it just gives a different look to it. All right, so there's that. And then what might help with it too is when you do this. So, you know, there we go. What also that might look good with, you see now I have that little spot down here that I might have that left over. See, I try my best to use all my pieces up. And I'm going to take that fire brick red and see how it looks on this. With this blue, obviously, you need a brighter color. So that's why I pulled out those colors. I don't think pink is going to look as nice on it. And I think the blue on top of blue is better. But throwing on a snippet roll or something, this might be just enough to have a little bit of a different. I find once you kind of dull that blue down, then it looks, I like it. I like how it turns out. So don't be afraid to use all parts of the envelope. I mean, you can use the side, no problem, but that just gives a different contrast to it altogether. So use different things up. I have this red envelope. I don't think the red on red is not going to show. And I think with it, you'll need a nice size stamp with it. I don't know how the blue will look. We'll try the blue. I don't know why that scrap came. We'll put it in there. Let's see how it looks. This might be best to do with brown, the different shades of brown. It doesn't look too bad. It's not my favorite. It's not too bad, but not technically my favorite. And now I don't have enough for that there. But I'm going to take that off. I've got a mess of stamps to clean up now. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to try it with the, I need the lid on that. So, you know, play around with it. If you don't like it, it's only a scrap that you're throwing out. It's not like you're throwing out an expensive piece of paper if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out. Now, if I had a good black, I don't think my black is dark enough. That probably would look better. Let me pull the black and we'll just test out the black before we end this and see how it goes. See, this is how I right now keep my stamped images. And this is the paper I'm talking about that had a really neat feel to it. So, as you can see, I like to stamp. And that's how I keep it right now. Those little bins I get from, those little boxes from my HP. I almost forgot what I was going to grab. I didn't even do many flowers. Let's see, it can't be this one. I gotta clean that before I put it away. Little 12, let's see how the little 12 goes. Let's do a little 12. Oh, I guess the black does. The black almost looks blue on here though, but it does come out really nicely. There's another 12. Now let's see in my neat little letters here. Oh, that'll be perfect. Ooh, I've got a mess to clean. And organize my stamps again back into the right spot. Oh, we're going black. What I'll do is I won't do them all on camera. I'll do some more stamping. And then tomorrow when I come on to do Scrappy, I'll show you some more things I did. But I challenge you to pull out your scraps, pull out your stamps. Do some of these, those that are in Junk Journal Craft and Chat. Show us what you get completed. Your name will go into the draw at the end of the week. Plus you'll get, if you like and comment on this video as well, you can get your name entered in again. And if you're not a subscriber and you subscribe, then there we go. So the black does work really well with that. So let's just move those scraps out of the way. Put these here. So we got a few little 12s out of that. We'll have to clean this up. So let's just see what we did in that time. So lots of fun things to use. I want to do more of these because I really like that. And I even have the stitch one. So even I might do some nice stitches that can be put in places. I'm scratching my hand. Sorry, I'm not supposed to scratch. So look at all I got done in that time. except for I didn't get those cut out. No big deal. So we got a couple clusters done. Great way. We got the different shapes. We got them all, some fussy cut. So there we go. So I love this is one of my favorite stamps, that one, and I didn't even do it. I'll do some of these after. This is one of my favorite stamps too. So there we go. And I mean, some of these can be used in collaging, some of them can be used in snippet rolls, clusters, anything you like, on the bottom of a page. And they're nice to have on hand, and it's a good way to use up your scraps. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for joining me today. So I challenge you to grab your scraps, grab your ink pads, grab your stamps, and punches if you'd like. And before I go, I have to show you one punch. One scrap. I promise. Just one more. And I think that's why I took this one out. But it's too dark. Here, we'll go with this one. One more. Because when I first got this, I didn't think I would like it. But the more I use this stamp, the more I love it. My camera, not quite. So there's that in the pink. Let's try the Victorian. And this does look really good on the paper bag as well. Velvet. Let's try the seedless grape. Okay, let's try that seedless grape. Ooh, I just love how it looks. And now I need to blot this somewhere. I just did something bad. I have an old sweater on and let's see how this turns out. And there we go. I love this stamp. Love it. It looks great in all the colors. So there we go. And I still have room along here that I can take and do those with and get a lot out of that one. Sorry, I just want to put, because I have a habit of putting my hands down on my desk and plopping it right into the ink. All right. I just had to show you that one because again, it came in a bunch. I think this one, and a couple others came in a bag at the thrift store where my sister went, and she picked it up for like, I think it was $6, and I got like 8 stamps in it. And I use this one an awful lot now. And I do use this fern an awful lot too. So there we go. Trying to get it in. I'm showing it off because it's my favorite. All right. So I will say goodbye. Thank you for joining me. And please either come join us at Junk Journal Craft and Chat and get involved in our Get Organized and our Scrappy. We still have a lot of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday left of our Scrappy and organization. What I might do at the end on Saturday, maybe I'll show some pictures of my final of what how my scrap box looks, and maybe all the things that I made. And please check out Purple Heart Creations by Chrissy on Facebook. I will have stamps for sale in there. I have homemade faux paw buttons in there, paper packs, and soon hopefully some journals. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.